Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. Our master topic is understanding intercessions. We're on Series 3, Show 45. This is that great moment in time for you to go rush to the kitchen and get yourself something delicious. Maybe it's some fruit, maybe it's some chocolate from Halloween, maybe it's a milkshake or something icy cold and refreshing, or maybe something hot like a coffee or a tea or a hot cocoa or anything else in between. Go ahead and grab that and hurry on back so we can kick off another great show. All right, well, welcome, friends, to Inspirations for Your Life, where your journey to a more motivated, connected, and impactful life begins. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, your podcast coach and host, here to dive into strategies and insights that will transform the way that you work and lead and live. In each episode, I share practical tips and inspiring stories designed to help you cultivate a positive workplace, spark creativity, and build authentic connections, whether you're a leader looking to bring out the best in your team or someone on a path to personal growth. This podcast will equip you with the tools to elevate your life one conversation at a time. Right. Tune in, get inspired every single day. But you can always catch all my great content at believemeachieve.com. There's so much to check out there. Hurry back for the kitchen. We got to get started, friends. All right. So, the topic for today is a really good topic, and I'm going to share it with you. And the topic, ladies and gentlemen, is this: it's building a culture of recognition, acknowledge, appreciate, and celebrate success. And we are on show 45, series 3, show 45, episode number 3. So, first thing I want to talk about is acknowledging efforts. Now, value in small steps is important. Recognizing even the smallest efforts, they're the building blocks of the bigger achievements that we all want to celebrate. The practice emphasizes that every action matters, boosting motivation at any level. When people feel that their work, even the daily tasks, are acknowledged, they want to go forward. It fosters motivation and long term commitment. Positive relationships. By consistently acknowledging effort, you nurture a supportive and collaborative team environment where trust can always flourish. Show your appreciation. Gratitude as connection. Simple, genuine appreciation, like a thank you note, can have a profound impact on building stronger, more trusting relationships. Morale and trust are key, and appreciation elevates morale and promotes trust, making individuals feel valued and part of the team. Remember the ripple effect? We've talked about this before. I told you it would come up again. The ripple effect of gratitude, regularly showing appreciation, creates a culture, ladies and gentlemen, where others feel encouraged to do the same. Multiplying positivity and respect throughout the team, I think, is very, very important. So, celebrating wins, the importance of recognizing success, both team and individual achievements, are worth celebrating. At this recognition time, it strengthens and the dedication grows stronger, as well as the motivation, fostering team spirit. Celebrations bring people together and remind them that their contributions are part of a bigger success story, creating lasting memories, ladies and gentlemen. Not only will strengthen the team bonds, but also reinforce a standard of excellence within the group. So, when we think about all this, I mean, I know this can seem confusing for a lot of people, but let's try to break it down. All right. So, acknowledging efforts, right? Those small steps matter, motivational boosts, and positive relationships. That's key. Appreciation, ladies and gentlemen, is about gratitude as a connection, morale and trust, creating a ripple effect, celebrating wins, both the individual and the team wins, the small wins and the big wins. A lot of people don't celebrate the small ones because they don't think they're worthy enough, but every win is worthy. Fostering team spirit, right? Creating memorable moments. And I think as we start to evolve as people and as communities and groups, I think building a culture of recognition is not something that we just say, it's something we have to do. So let's think about a culture of recognition. Maybe you own a small company, or maybe you work for a company, and maybe they have a holiday party. Well, a good thing to do with that holiday party is to hand out certificates. Now, they don't cost much, and you can oftentimes print them for free with Word or making up a simple little document. And you're printing out a certificate. Maybe you get some extra nice paper, and you hand those out just before or during a dinner celebration, and everyone can applaud. And the nice thing is that if you could find a way to recognize everyone for something they do, maybe somebody's really good at counting. Maybe somebody's really good at always being early. Maybe somebody's always good at being Mr. and Mrs. Congenial. Maybe someone's good at always going the extra mile. That could be the extra mile person, right? Maybe someone in your office just is a good ear for anyone. So that might be something like the most listening ear person or something like that. So I think a lot of times when we think about cultures, right, we get stuck because corporations set a culture. But sometimes the cultures that they set, guess what they do? They actually hinder the people that are within it. Uh, there's so many times I hear about rules, and these rules are meant to help, but really what they do is they stifle creativity and they block any lasting bit of motivation that might be left. And they kill any spirit of wanting to build the team. And we always said that there is more when two or more approach something, right? Two heads are better than one, right? Three are better than two, four are better than three, etc. You get the idea, right? Five are better than four. And I think when we can have a collaborative spirit, it causes people to start to associate themselves with the group, and it forms a culture. All right. So you might be saying, hey, John, what are, and this is a great question to ask, what are some great business cultures to mimic? So, what I want to lead to is something about what we call powerful cultures, right? One that I want to talk about is going to be Pixar's creative and collaborative culture. It's a perfect example of how company cultures precede positive results. Pixar's Pixar's culture is the secret sauce to developing so many box offices successes. Originality is fragile, and no one understands this better than Pixar. You need a peculiar culture to identify the potential of the, they call it quote unquote, ugly babies, as Ed Catmull calls early ideas. Pixar promotes psychological safety in order to nurture and encourage the first iterations of originally before they are turned into beautiful creations. The secret to Pixar's success lies in balancing creativity with collaboration. And so colleagues provide feedback to each other to help improve other team ideas. People are expected to get used to feelings being embarrassed in public by showing works in progress. That sometimes is hard for some people. Pixar practices radical candor to promote transparent conversations. Another one that is a good one is Southwest Airlines, fun and loving culture. It's woven into all aspects of the company, from business performance to employee happiness. The airline puts employees first. This tribal type of company culture promotes strong relationships among colleagues. Three crucial elements define Southwest Airlines. If you didn't know, here they are: appreciation, recognition, and celebration. Hey, what a quinky dink. That's actually what we're talking about today. A decade or so, the company decided to formalize its workplace culture by identifying 6 core values and creating a culture services department. Southwest Airlines has many rituals to bring its values to life and celebrate each other. One of the most significant is culture blitzes, in which a team visits an airport, touching every Southwest employee with food, fun, and support. That's pretty cool. So, the thing about this is that if you are made to feel part of a family or more of a team, you're going to want to work. You're going to want to do more than just what the job is. When cultures are hard, it causes productivity to be stagnant or very unproductive. There are so many stories out there. Another one that I like is um, IKEA. Similar to Zappos and Southwest Airlines, IKEA has a tribal type of culture. Together is the heart of their company. IKEA's employees are strong when they trust each other, pull in the same direction, and have fun together. The Swedish retailer aspires to be a force for positive change. IKEA's purpose is to, quote unquote, create a better everyday life for the many people. Quote, since its beginning, the company has decided with many that what's good for customers has proven to be good for IKEA too. A lot has changed since IKEA became a global player. However, some key elements still remain, shaped by its founder, are still, of course, present. The simple, straightforward one is down to earth way of being is part of the Swedish village heritage. Austerity plays a vital role in how decisions are made at IKEA, considering the cost consciousness and simplicity at the core of the company. Camprad believed, quote unquote, wasting resources is a mortal sin, close quote. Before approving a decision, employees must really understand the costs and financial impacts. And so there are lots of different companies with lots of different cultures. But I think the most important thing is to find and adopt a culture that works for you. When you decide to work for a company, make sure you understand the culture of the company before you decide to do business with them. I think that's really a big one. A lot of people, they join and they don't understand, what the culture is about. Another interesting one. This would be an agile company culture. It's Spotify. They build a strong agile company culture at Spotify, rapid growth, and one of the clues lies in balancing employee autonomy and accountability. That's something a lot of companies are wrestling with. At Spotify, flexibility is not about what people want, but about being more mindful of their choices. For example, take the quote unquote pull the plug quote norm. While executives in most companies keep pushing projects, even if they lack traction, Spotify employees are data informed. When they don't see the expected results, people can pull the plug. Spotify employees are encouraged to break the rules with a purpose. If something works, they keep it. Otherwise, they dump it. Context matters to them too. Spotify's culture works under the premise that, quote unquote, what works well in most places may not work in our environment, close quote. So I think it's important to look at the type of company you have, the employees you have. So if you don't have a culture, figure out what's going to work best for who you have. Maybe have some, let's say, brainstorming sessions. Because if your culture is not defined, it's going to make it hard for you to attract people that are going to adjust with that same culture. This is the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you. You've got to respect your culture. And if you don't like a culture of a company, well, maybe that's a company that you should not be working with. And of course, there are lots of other cultures that I could go into. I mean, there's so many. But I think the bottom line comes to the fact that people are people, and people want to work in a place they're appreciated. It doesn't take a lot to give someone a certificate or even a small trophy at a dinner. That $3 or $4 or $6 really will mean something to them, because that will then go on their nightstand or go in their living room or their family room. And every time they walk in, oh, you know how I got that trophy? No. Well, I'm always Mr. Congenial, and they thought I was very there for everyone, and that's why I got the trophy. I got it for being the best listener at the company. Wow. So this is what it's about. You can't just throw a culture in like, willy-nilly. You have to figure out, first of all, do you have people that are adapting to a certain culture, and would one go well? If the company's new, then you can create a culture and you can attract people that'll work within that culture. And I think it's very important to be transparent to prospective employees and interns about what your culture is like. For example, are you a company that allows people to work from home? So we have a philosophy at our company. You know, 90% of the jobs that we have are going to be done in the office. There is some time when you might be able to do something at home, but don't expect it. And if we let you take something home, we do expect the work will be done timely, and we don't expect to hear any excuses like, my cat, my dog, my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife. I don't want to hear any of those things. The delivery man, if you're home, you're just at another location, but you still should be working for us. So that's really important. And I think a lot of people don't understand what that means. So if you can't understand what a culture means, then you're probably going to be very unhappy, as you're not going to know what the company expects from you. Okay. And before I sign off tonight, I want to explain something that's very important. And it's what I call getting things right. Okay. The culture and how to get things right. So, employee retention is number one. Employee satisfaction is number two. Understanding things from the views of all of your employees is also important. And I think understanding about core values. If you don't have them, it's time that you come up with them. Make your core values and mission something everyone knows about. You can put it at your lunchroom. You could put it, on different public places of the company that people walk in the hallways. And I think this is really important. And so when we talk about culture, many times they're rated on a scale, but it's not about, who has the best culture. It's about what's going to work for you. So let's just kind of review. One, do employees feel respected? Two, do you have supportive leaders? Three, are leaders live core value driven? Are there toxic managers at your company? Is there unethical behavior that is tolerated? What are the benefits for people? What are the perks? What's the learning and development? What's job security? How about reorganizations? And why would somebody want to be in your environment? Like, what does your culture offer someone? Some people will thrive in some cultures. Some people will not in others. So I think it's important that you realize what your company needs to grow and adapting more of that culture. You might find that you're going to lose some people because they don't adapt to that culture. That's fine. But make sure that the bulk of your company falls into that culture and that new people you bring on find it as an attraction point for them to want to be part of your organization. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you on this amazing evening, which is Monday, November 4th. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. So do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And remember, everyone, start understanding the culture of your company. And if you're part of management, make sure you have a culture that everyone works well with and is proud to be part of. Have yourself a wonderful evening.